Okay, guys, here's video number 2. Now we're going to write this PHP form down here at the bottom. It's sort of the second half of the chapter. This is the one I've already created. Um, but you guys, when we're looking at your HTML, I'll open the one we've been working on. Oh, never mind. I have it open over here. It's blank. So on page 205, they tell us what the file is supposed to look like. We need to have customer, country, status, order date, and then hitting submit. The PHP has already been written to us, which is awesome. And then, sorry, go ahead and get rid of that. The PHP has already been written for us, which is awesome. And we are sort of just going to follow along with the second half of the chapter to create this form. So if you flip to page 182, figure 511 is just a basic PHP form. And I want you to follow that information. The biggest change we're going to make is instead of doing a form method post, we're going to do a form method get. And that is because we already have the HTML link that they give us in question 4 from Randy Connolly. And to read the difference, all about get versus post, you can read that on page 185. So let's go ahead, get started coding. I know you guys are all anxious. That's the one I've already been working on. Okay, CSS. Okay, coming down here, and it tells us to do our new form right in the second section under revise. So I am going to start with form method. Our method, remember, is not post like outlined on page 182. It's actually get form. And our action equals, and then instead of process.php, it is http www.randyconnolly.com/test/process.php. That is all on page number 4, page 204. That's where that URL comes from. So it tells us in the question, within the second section, which we did, element, create the form, be sure to use the field set and legend elements for the form, as well as be sure to use the appropriate accessibility features in the form. Okay, so to start our form, we opened it and now we're going to close it. You know how I am crazy about opening and closing my tags at the same time. I just don't want to forget and be like, why is this not working? Field set, okay, and then it closes. It goes all the way down at the bottom. I'll pull this up for you guys. So we have our form open, form close, field set open, field set close. The next is our legend. And I am going to name this filtered orders. So now I'm going to go ahead and close that legend tag. So anytime you want to do a new label, so a new input, I always do a p tag, and then our new label is going to be customer. So we go ahead and we do p tag, and then I want a label, and this is actually what you're going to see on the form. So make sure everything is typed right, and then label. And then we go ahead and say, all right, now that we have our label, we need, what do we put our information in? In this case, we're putting in text. So now we have an input tag. It's type equals text. That's what it is. And then our name is going to be, and this is what we'll see on the back end. So to say, what is this field? Once we process all the information, all this information gets placed into a database. This is where it will get placed in the name. So then we'll go ahead and we will close this. And let's see, I need to close my p tag. See, I almost forgot. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now let's see how we're doing. I like to save and go back and look just to make sure. All right, so we have our filtered orders, and then we have our customer, and this is where people can type. Awesome. Next. So after I did that one, let's open another p tag, which just brings it down a little further. Our next one is country. All right. So this one's a little different, but again, we need our label, country, and then we need to close our label. And then this input type is actually a drop down with different types of information that they can choose. But again, if you're following right along on 182, there is an example of what it looks like for a country. So select name equals where. And then where are my options? Select, we did our label country. Now the options, it doesn't tell us what options we should have, so I just made these up. Choose from a country, so this will be the first one you see. And then I'm going to choose option USA, close my option. I'm just closing my option up here. I'm going to do, again, I talked to you guys about copying and pasting. It's much easier, it goes quicker, you make less errors. So instead of it being USA, I'm going to say Canada and then France. Okay, so then I need to close my select. Okay, close my p tag. Anything else I opened? Just looking at my code. Remember, I'm still within this field set in the form. Everything looks good. See how I'm doing. Save. All right, choose from a country. And there are the 3 values we chose. So you can choose Canada, you can choose France, or the US. All right, let's go back here. What other ones do I need? I need a status. So p tag. And then open a label. This is a status. Close my label. So this is actually what they call a radio button. So that's no longer shown on page 182, but where there's an example of a radio button that you can follow along with is on page, drop down, let's see, checkboxes, radio buttons. Page 191 talks about radio buttons. And then there's actually good coding examples right there at the bottom. Go ahead, and it looks like our status is pending, processing, and shipped. All right, so we have our p tag. So then we need to do our label. Oh, we already did all that. Sorry. Down here. Let's see. We need an input, a type telling the system that we want a radio button. A name is, again, this is our status, what we'll see on the back end. And our value, what will actually be shown if they select this radio button. And let's see, it was shipped, I believe was one of them. And then this says shipped. We need to close. Okay. And that's all. Okay. Input type. Oh, we're good. Input type radio. Copy and paste this. So what are our options actually? Pending, processing, shipped. So pending is first. Pending. Processing. Okay. And in the book, it shows a break, which would put them on each line, but in our diagram, they're all straight across in a line, so that's why I didn't use the break there. So I need to close my p tag. Let's hit save. Come over here, see how I did. There they all are. I can click one of them and it switches. All right, our final value is our p tag, and this is a label. And what's our last one? Order date. Okay, so this is actually shown on page, let's see, date, label, input type, page 197. You can read about dates. So this is an input equals, or input type equals date. And we can have the name, date, and then I'm going to say the name is date. And we are all set. And then close my p tag. See how we did. Okay, so we have all the fields. So the last thing we need is this submit button. So the last part we need is this input type equals submit. All right, and this will give us the submit button. So now what it's saying is once you've filled out this entire form and you have clicked the submit button, you go ahead and you run this PHP script that we set up here at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and test it out, see how we did. Choose from a country, fingers crossed, put in any data here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. And then you can see that customer, my information was Katie, where I'm located was in the USA, and my status is currently pending. So I'm sitting here looking at this information. I'm like, why didn't my date pull through? And it looks like, so I'll have to look into why my date isn't pulling through, but we can go ahead and try one more time. 2020. Oh, one too many. Hit submit, and the information that I put through just went in as a new record. So when you know you've hit submit and you get this form input screen, then you know you are good to go. So that is question 3 and 4 on our chapter 5 homework. I know these were 2 long videos, but I really hope they helped. So the first one is all about TDs and making tables. The second one is your PHP form. Beautiful. Your CSS is all set up, and your PHP is all set up. I'm not going to be crazy in grading about the CSS because I know we really harped on that last week, but I want you to at least get to this point. I want to see some colors, so I do know that you understand the CSS for SPAN classes. I want to see you've created a form with these 4 fields, and when I hit submit, my information should post. The progress bar, I'm not going to worry about. If you want to take that deep dive, go ahead. That's on page 194. At the end of the day, guys, I just want to see that you can place information in, you can build a table, you can build a PHP form. This is all really exciting stuff. I hope you're enjoying it, and keep giving me feedback on these videos. Remember, get the email, download the file, unzip it. Do not forget to unzip. Once you unzip, you have your HTML, your images folder, you have your PHP and your .css. So I hope this is helpful. I hope everyone is doing well, staying healthy and safe. Don't forget to do your review questions this week. And yeah, I hope all is well. Email me with questions, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.